Hello Gemini, and welcome to your reading today. Really interesting energy around you, Gemini, that I just want to mention. As I say, normally when I do a reading we go straight into Oracle and Tarot. But today Spirit have given me two sets of Oracle cards. We will be bringing in some Tarot also, but they wanted me to use both these sets, and that's really unusual, so I'm intrigued to see what this is all about. They want me to start with these. Those of you that have watched the channel for quite a long time will know that when I use these sort of John Holland cards, there's a lot about emotions that come up in these cards. There's a lot about, feelings about things, whereas these are more circumstances. So interesting that they want me to partner these two cards, and they want me to start with the feelings. So I'm going to get straight into it. If you're joining me for the first time, thank you so much for stopping by. Please don't forget to subscribe because it just helps the channel. Here we go. We have Love Abounds. Oops. Let me carry on. These are very jumpy. We have New Vitality. We have Heal. Oops. Is it that one, Spirit? I'm not sure. It caught on my finger, so thank you. Rebuild. Okay. Very interesting. So we have, I'm not going to go into these in too much detail because I do want to pull the other ones with them because they're meant to partner for some reason. So we have Love Abounds, we have New Vitality, we have Healing, and we have Rebuild. Okay. I'm just going to pull these other oracles, so bear with me. I want to see what the partner cards are for them, because they were meant to be together, which is very interesting. We have Status Quo, Transformation, Dark Thoughts, and what do we have for Rebuild, please? Oops, thank you. Fear. Okay. That kind of makes more sense. So, at the moment, Gemini, I think you're quite happy with where you're at. You're quite happy with the way things are going. Obviously, there may be some of you that are saying, no, I'm not. But let's wait and see what the other cards bring. My initial feeling around these particular cards are that, things have been fairly static maybe for a while, but, you have been fairly happy with it. You've maybe got good friendships, good relationships, that are keeping you emotionally happy while you keep doing what you keep doing. It may be a relationship that this is talking about. You may be in a very stable relationship and you're very happy with that, Gemini. Interesting. It'd be interesting to see what the tarot says. But yeah, that kind of feels very settled, very grounded, very just, yeah, content, really. I see that you, we know that Geminis, you like sort of things that are, mentally stimulating, fast moving, etc., generally. And it feels like you've got some new ideas coming up. Feels like we obviously see this New Vitality, and it comes with transformation. So again, I think you're going to be coming up with some new ideas or just a new lease of energy that sort of guides you in a new direction. We see this person here at the beginning of this bridge. They're ready to go on a new journey. They've just said to me, journey of discovery. So, you know, it may be that you're finding out some information, you know, making it your mission to find out some more information about a situation or a set of circumstances that will lead you to making some changes along the way. Spirit have brought us the card of healing. And we have it with dark thoughts. This is very much about making sure that any negative thoughts or feelings that you have, that you take the time to just heal those and turn them around into positivity, Gemini. I do get the feeling this is a fleeting energy. I'm not picking up heavy, dark energy. I know this says dark thoughts. I know this is sort of, you know, I'll focus on that in a second because there's a shadow energy there. But I do feel that Spirit are saying, make sure that you keep this vitality active. Make sure that you keep the energy levels, you know, as high as you can. You know, heal yourself from anything that's restricting you. And negative thoughts will restrict you. I said I was going to talk about this card a bit because, you know, we have this shadow energy. And, you know, obviously we all have a shadow side. And the shadow side is, you know, the sort of bit of darkness inside us that brings, you know, our negative thoughts, our pessimism, that sort of energy. So Spirit is saying it's really important that you heal that, you know, and don't let it restrict this new vitality that's leading you to another transformation in your life, Gemini. Because you're going to be given the opportunity to rebuild something. It will be different for all of you. For some, it will be a relationship. For others, it will be a job or a business. You know, anything really. It could be a whole rebuilding any part of your life. So it could be a house move for some of you. You know, it could be you embarking on traveling. It could be anything. But, you know, whatever it is that you're considering rebuilding, you need to really connect with that inner part of you that is driving you forward. There's lightning here trying to break you down. There will always be people and there will always be negative thoughts that will try and pull you in a negative direction or try to prevent you from moving forward. And that's usually because of their own limitations and them, you know, not wanting to see others succeed. But Spirit is saying, in your soul, in your spirit, you know the direction you want to go in. You know what feels good to you, Gemini, and that is what you need to follow. Don't let the fears get in the way. So if you're sort of second guessing things, Spirit are saying, don't let the fears get in the way. Some of those fears will come from other people. Some of those fears will be fed by other people who don't want you to make change. So be very mindful of that as you go through this really, you know, interesting and progressive period of time for you, Aries. They want me to pull some tarot. So let's just, I think we're going with these ones today. Tell us more, please. Tell us more for Gemini. Oop. My oh my, they're jumpy. We have the Seven of Swords. Interesting. You may be concerned, Gemini, that things aren't as stable as you think they are. Because the energy of those two cards, the status quo and lover bounds, as I said to you before, was very stable, very warm. It felt like you were okay, but there's an element of doubt somewhere here. So you may be questioning things in your life at the moment. The Seven of Swords, you know, can be a bit sort of devious, a bit underhand. So, you know, you may be suspicious about somebody in your circle. You may be feeling that someone is trying to gain something from you, maybe. So that may just be a little fly in the ointment, as the saying goes. So just be mindful of that. But I don't know whether that is part of your fear or whether that's a reality. Let's see. Can you tell us, please? Tell us more about this Seven of Swords. Six of Cups. So this just may be an insecurity relating to issues from your childhood or things that have happened to you in the past. Six of Cups is very much about nostalgia. I love the Six of Cups, to be honest. It's one of my favourite cards. But in this instance, it kind of feels like this is just an insecurity of yours, because actually things are quite stable. But it's almost like, you know, when people get into a really happy relationship, for example, they may have been dating someone for a little while and it becomes very serious. And then you sort of find yourself in those moments just sort of saying, but actually, you know, is this going to last? You know, am I good enough? You know, all those doubts that we were talking about over here, those sort of dark thoughts that get in the way, that's what this is talking about. So I think this is nothing more than, I do think this is your energy. So I don't think this is someone around you, really. I do feel it's yours. So, you know, you've got this lovely stability. You're generally very happy in your life, but there may be a little bit of you that is questioning something about it in some way. And it does stem from insecurities from childhood, basically. That's what's coming through. New vitality, yeah, you're ready for action. Look at this King of Wands. Wow, how flashy is he? My goodness. I love the kings and queens of the Wands suit because they're so flamboyant. They're like ready to come out and capture the world, you know. And I do feel that you're ready for some sort of new adventure or new direction. You've got this new energy about you. The King of Wands is someone that gets things done through action, you know. So it's very much a Gemini feel to this card, you know, the way I read, because it is about taking action, being busy, you know, achieving a lot through that action. And that's what will bring about this transformation. You're going to be a lot clearer on the direction you want to go in. For some of you, travel will be involved. Obviously, we have a galleon here. This person is watching intently. And it's also about your ship coming in. And that sounds a bit of a cliche, but it kind of feels like things will fall into place for you, Gemini, on whatever this transformation is. It looks like you're just waiting for the pieces to all fall into place, but you're taking the action to make that happen. And I think you're really happy about that. That King of Wands has really dynamic energy in this deck. Yes, it's time to put down your burdens. Look at this. You may have felt that you're doing too much, that you're carrying too much, that you've got too much going on. And, you know, you may have said to yourself in your moments of negativity, you know, do I really want to do all this? You know, is this really working? Have I made the right decision? You know, all those sort of negative self-doubt sort of questions that we ask ourselves. And that may be what's been going on for you here, because Spirit is saying it's time to release. Time to release the self-doubt, time to release any burdens, you know, time to, you know, just look at the things that are priority to you. We see this person here releasing the chains. This person is about to put down his burdens. So that's really important for you to take on board, Gemini. I'm very big on sort of people taking the time for self-care, because, you know, if we deplete our energy resources, then we can't function properly. Your time of waiting is over. Here we have the Hanging Man, but he's in reverse. And actually, look at this wonderful Hanging Man. He looks like he's dancing out of his chains again, releasing chains. That is so interesting. But he actually looks, you know, if he was in his normal hanging man position, he'd just be looking pretty helpless. But look how the dynamic changes. And we were given this in reverse. So things are definitely moving. Look how he looks like he's dancing his way out of those chains. So yeah, release your burdens. Get ready to dance, Gemini. What are you going to be rebuilding? I'm excited for you, seriously. You're giving me Gemini energy. That's got to be a good thing. I'm not a Gemini, so that's got to be a good thing. My voice is going croaky too. Right, let's see. Oh, wow. Yes, I said things are going to start moving. We have the Chariot. The Chariot, you know, is fast-moving energy. It's also, you know, picking a direction and going in that direction. And I think you're going to be, we haven't got sword cards, have we, apart from the one at the beginning, but I do feel that you're going to have more, maybe it's not about clarity, maybe it's about you knowing the way you, the direction you want to go in. I think you will make that decision, and it will, you know, once that decision's made, and once you dismiss any sort of self-doubt, or, you know, stop listening to the voices of people who are giving you self-doubt, then you will move forward at a quick pace, Gemini. And here we have the Eight of Pentacles. This is about you, again, focusing on the job in hand. This is about you looking at the detail of what you're doing, making sure it's all in place. I don't think I need to say that to you, Gemini, because I think it's a Gemini trait anyway. But that is, you know, there may be new skills that you need to learn along the way. If you're heading in a slightly different direction, or you're trying something slightly new. But you're going to feel happy with this direction, and it will, you know, move quite quickly, to be honest. I want to see what's on the bottom of the decks, because I didn't look earlier. And then I will bring the reading to a close, because it's quite long, this one. Wow, look what's on the bottom of this deck. Nurture. This is that healing energy we've been talking about. This is that freeing yourself from burdens energy. The sacred temple. This talks about you being in the right place spiritually. This is about your energy being open to receive. This is about, it feels like a homecoming, you know. The sacred temple also talks about you, your body, and treating yourself as a sacred temple, you know, looking after yourself, alleviating those fears that were perhaps getting in the way. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the moon, but we have it in reverse. And this tells me that, you know, there's a lot of reality around you. As I say, you are an action-taking sign anyway, but this is because it's in reverse. The moon talks often about things that are hidden, things that are an illusion. But in this instance, because it's in reverse, we're talking about, again, I did use the word clarity, but we haven't got swords cards. But there is a sort of a clearer vision here. Things aren't going to be hidden. I think the things, maybe this is about, you know, the ideas that you've had, that you've suddenly got a new focus on, a new energy for, are becoming reality. They're coming out of the darkness, the shadows, the sort of part of your mind that have kept them hidden, into reality. Fascinating reading. Love that, Gemini. I'm so pleased for you. Right, I'm going to pull a couple of numerology to finish. This is the longest video I've done out of this set, so there is important messages in it for you. Please don't forget to like it if it resonated with you. Let's see. Yeah, conclusions are within reach. Yeah, we see that because we see the culmination of the action you're taking. Show the world the real you. Not a time to keep anything hidden, Gemini. I've got to laugh. I've got to laugh. They do it every time. It's a time for healing. We know that. We've covered that in graphic detail. Love it. Is there one more, Spirit, or are we done? I think we're done. They want to leave you on the healing message. Take heed, Gemini. On the bottom, it says adjustments are required. So yeah, you maybe need to make more time for healing along the way. You know, don't forget you and your urgency to sort of be inspired by things and get on with things. It's about getting a bit of balance going on there, Gemini. Love that for you. Love it. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there because it was long, and thank you for listening if you've made it to the end, and I will speak to you all very, very soon. Bye, Gemini.